Hello ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ಟು ದ ನಮ್ಮ ವೇದಾಂತ SSLC. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಟೀಚರ್ Rithika ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಯಾವುದಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ನ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಚಾನಲ್, ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಟು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಟು ದ ಚಾನಲ್ ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಯಿತಾ? ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಪ್ಪ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಬೀಳಬಹುದು? See, chapter mele almost you people will receive 10 to 12 marks. 12 to 12 marks. Sometimes they might ask for 14 marks also. Aita 14 marks melenu beelಬಹುದು. So make sure you people will study this chapter thoroughly. Why? Because this is very important chapter and even it is a very high weightage chapter also. Clear? So start madana portion. First, we will need to understand what is the meaning of a life process. Life process andre enappa? Life process means it's very simple and it's very you people need to remember it like in this way. Like hegappa one nimisha. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ನೀವು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಆಯಿತಾ? ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ನಮಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಈಟ್ ಅ ಬೀಟ್ರೂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪೊಮೊಗ್ರಾನೇಟ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಖರೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಸೊ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದೋಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರಾ? ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನೀವೇನಾದರೂ ತಿಂತಿದ್ದೀರ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟೇ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಏನು ತಿಂತೇವೆ ಹೊಲಸೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್, ದೆನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಮ್ಯಾಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ respiration ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, if oxygen is not there in your body, what is the thing is going to happen? ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಫುಲ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಮೇನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಬದುಕಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಈಗ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೈ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋತಿದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಹೆಸಿಟೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ವಾಶ್ರೂಮ್, ಇಫ್ ಅರ್ಜೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಮ್, ನೀವು ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ, ನಾಚಿಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇರಲಿ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಈಗ ಮಂದಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಟೀಚರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಗೋತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ನೀವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ. ಸೊ ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಶೈ ಟು ಡೂ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ಬೀನ್ ಡನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಂದಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್, ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್, ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ so. Yes, this is a natural process. So you should not hesitate to do the natural things. Clear? Then comes the transportation. Transportation is also very important. If in case ನಾವು ಬಾಯಿಂದ ತಿಂತಿದ್ದೇವೆ, in case ಅದು ಹೋಗಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ transportation is not happening of the food. It's just waste guys. We are not going to survive itself, right? So this all four things whichever I'm discussing right now, all these four things are very very important for our life. Clear? So these four things which will help us to survive, our life will go smoothly by these four processes. Clear? Next comes what about the nutrition. We are going to learn in detail about the nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, you have a few points which you people need to remember it, and it's very important. Okay, so autotrophic nutritions are, it is a mode of a nutrition in which organisms synthesize their own food from simple inorganic substances such as water and carbon dioxide. It means what? It is called as photosynthesis process. Okay, photosynthesis process is a process where the plants will take the carbon dioxide from us and they will take a water and they will prepare their own food. When they prepare their own food, we are going to get what? Food for us, right? So avaga aden release madutte, oxygen release madutte, as we don't need carbon dioxide in our body, same way plants ge oxygen necessary illa, adike navu kodutte, navu carbon dioxide necessity illa, navu adakke kodutte. So that is what exchange is happening. Clear? Green plants are autotrophics. They synthesize the food by process. They synthesize the food by process of photosynthesis. That's what I told it here also, right? Photosynthesis is a process where the plants prepare their own food by taking the chlorophyll, by taking the water, by taking the carbon dioxide, nitrogen and many more things to prepare their own food. Clear? Next, photosynthesis is the physiological process by which the plants cells containing chlorophyll will produce the food in the form of carbohydrates. In the form of what? In the form of carbohydrates, they are going to prepare their own food using the carbon dioxide, water and the light energy. Light energy means what? Sunlight. Okay, natural process it is. Sunlight ತಗೊಂಡು food prepare ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Oxygen is released by the product by this process. That's what I told you. Exchange of carbon dioxide and the oxygen will be happening in between the plants and the us. Okay. And chlorophyll is the green pigment. This is very important point. Chlorophyll is the green pigment found in the green plants which will observe the sunlight. Okay. Which will be observed by the sunlight. Those leaves which are present. Inside that leaves the chlorophyll will be present and that chlorophyll will observe the sunlight. Now chlorophyll is present in the chloroplasts. So chlorophyll edril present irutte chlorophyll. It's just like how Rithika is staying in the home or else you people are staying in the home and watching the video right now. So ade tara chlorophyll go on home ide means mane ide. So ee chlorophyll mane yavadappa? Chloroplast. Clear? Next, chloroplast is a membrane bound oval cell original. So it means what? Chloroplast is the membrane bound oval. So it's a membrane bound oval means it has a membrane to it in the oval shape and cell original. It is enclosed by a double membrane. It's enclosed by a double membrane. Yenen ide alla idu membrane adu double membrane ide aita. So its interior contains closely packed flattered sacs called as thylakoids. So this thylakoids which is there, it means what? It is observing the sunlight. No, it needs to store also somewhere. No, to prepare the food and distribute to the other parts of the plant. That is done by this. Okay. Chlorophylls are present in the thylakoids and the thylakoids are arranged in the piles called as garna, lying in the colorless ground substances called as stroma. Okay. Colorless content called as stroma. Now, cells present in the spongy mesophyll layer and the palisade layer contains the chlorophyll. Therefore, they are the site of, once again, they are the site of the photosynthesis. So, which are the cells which are present in the form of a spongy-like structures. They also actually means they are actually also a site of a photosynthesis. Those all will act in the process of photosynthesis. Clear? So, these are the few topics, few points which you people need to remember about the autotrophic nutrition. Clear? Next comes what? This is the autotrophic image, how actually the processes are happening. I'll just see you. This is actually called as what? Stroma. Clear? And this is called as thylakoid. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it properly or no. So, iden layer idella adu inner membrane anta karitare. Okay. Okay. And this is called as what? Outer membrane. Okay. So, this is called as outer membrane. So, these are the membranes and this is actually the chloroplast. How it has been present. This is a leaf. Leaf do 3D structure ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Means how it's been distributed. Okay. This all things which are present in a bunch like structure. Those all are called as thylakoids. Means it will be observing all the things and keeping it by some. Okay. ಇದು inner membrane. ಹೇಳಿದೆಲ್ಲ double membrane ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. Outer membrane ಒಂದು inner membrane. That both together is called as what? Double membrane. ತಿಳಿತಾ? Next, stroma, which is actually a place where it's present in between the thylakoid. Clear? So this is how you people can remember the chloroplast. One image anna flash ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, easy ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? It will be good to you people. Next, stomata, that is stomata are a minute openings present in the epidermal layers of the leaves. So in the epidermal layers of the leaves, stomata is actually been present. Where it has been present? Stomata is a minute openings present in the epidermal layers of the leaves. So they are responsible for gas exchange during the photosynthesis. During the gas exchange, they will be very much useful. They will open, they will release the oxygen, they will observe the carbon dioxide from us. This is what the work of the stomata is. If in case stomata would not be there, it was very difficult for the plants to prepare their own food. Clear? So this is the stomata which is present. I'll show you people. It's visible clearly, right? So this is what epidermis cell. So the outside part ಏನideyalla, that is called as epidermis cell. Clear? This thing is called as epidermis cell. Theta? Done? Yes. Next comes the chloroplast. So this thing which is present inside that is called as chloroplast. Okay. This is called as what? Chloroplast. Next comes the stomatal pore. Stomatal pore. Opening. That is called as what? Stomatal pore. Clear? Done? Next comes what? Sap vacuole. This yellow color part which is present inside the chloroplast, that is called as sap vacuole. Sap vacuole andre it's actually trying to make the open, means to open it, it is helping. Like we have a handles to our door, no? Like that you can think it. Okay. Next comes the thick inner wall. Okay. This is the thick inner wall, so that nothing much happens here. Okay. This is the thicker wall. Okay. Next, thin outer wall. This is whatever the thin outer wall is there, this thing which is present, that is called as thin outer wall. So this is a nucleus. Two nucleuses are present at both the sides. Done. Next comes the subsidiary cells. This is all called as subsidiary cells. This outside thing. Okay. ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ? Subsidiary cells. Then this is called as what? Guard cell. So this whole thing is going to be the guard cell. So this is how you people need to remember. This is also very important. Must do. Clear? So must do important ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತಿದ್ದೇನಲ್ಲ, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ನೋಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿ while you people are seeing the video. It will be very much be helpful. Clear? Understood? Yes. Next comes what? Process of photosynthesis. ಹೇಗಪ್ಪ photosynthesis ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ? The palisade layer is the center for photosynthesis. Light energy is trapped in the chlorophyll. What is actually the center? That is palisade layer is actually the center of the photosynthesis, and the light energy is being trapped in the chlorophyll of the mesophyll cells. In the mesophyll cells, in the palisade layer of the leaves, in the palisade layers of the leaf, the photosynthesis process is going to happen there. Okay. Then the chemical equation for this is what? ನೀವಂತೂ ಐದರಿಂದ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, right? So you are studying this from 5th standard. So that is 6CO2, that is carbon dioxide, which has been given by us. So our carbon dioxide H2 ಜೊತೆ react ಆಗಿ ಏನು? In the presence of. Now chemical reaction ನಲ್ಲಿ already ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇವಾ, right? What we have learned in the chemical equation? Chemical equation ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ? What we have learnt in the chemical reaction, that we have learnt about the concept of reaction. That reaction I will explain it now. So in this reaction, the carbon dioxide plus the H2O, this both are the reactants. Right, now ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ chemistry ಕಲಿಯೋಣ. So ಇದು ಎರಡು reactants ಆಯ್ತು. In the presence of light energy and chlorophyll, this thing which is present actually, both the things will act like a catalyst. Light energy ಮತ್ತೆ chlorophyll ಎರಡು ಹೇಗೆ act ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? They both will act like a catalyst. Clear everyone? Simple. Then this is making catalyst means ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ already, catalyst will make the reaction faster. That is what it is doing, right? So we will get what? Glucose, that is C6H12O6 has a glucose, and the side product will be 2H6H2O and the O2, which we will use it for our survival. Clear? That's it. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಲೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್. ಏನೇನು ಕೆಲಸ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಲೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್. ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಇದೆ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಆ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಿಲ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Done. Second step is what? Light energy is being observed is converted into the chemical energy. So light energy in convert ಮಾಡುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸ್ಟೊಮಾಟಾನಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ photosynthesis of the water takes place. That is, water molecules is a split into the hydrogen and the oxygen. So water molecule ಏನು ತರ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ತಿಳಿತಾ? So the oxygen will be produced. Okay. Then carbon dioxide is being converted into the glucose. So ಈ carbon dioxide ಏನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು glucose means energy. Glucose means glucose will get the energy from there. So glucose will be converted, means the carbon dioxide will be converted to the glucose. Next, by using the ATP and NADPH produced during the light reaction. Next, chlorophyll, light, carbon dioxide and the water are the necessary things for the photosynthesis. So ಏನೇನು ಬೇಕು photosynthesis process ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ? We need carbon dioxide, we need chlorophyll, we need light and we need water to produce their own food with the help of the process photosynthesis. Clear? So ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು already ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Even though I have explained it detailed way, sit and study this properly because this is a very basic thing which you people need to know. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು equation ಅಂತೂ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಓದ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕು. ಬಹಾಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, heterotrophic nutrition. So now heterotrophic nutrition is done. Now we are going to study about the heterotrophic nutrition. So what is the meaning of a heterotrophic nutrition? Now it is a mode of a nutrition of organisms. It is a mode of a nutrition of an organisms which cannot synthesize their own food, but they are dependent on, okay, they are dependent on other organisms for the food. They are dependent on the other organisms for the food purpose. So other organisms for the food purpose means what? ಬೇರೆಯವರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Like how we are dependent on the plants, how we are dependent on the animals. Same way we all are going to be the heterotrophic. Okay. Next, means we are not going to be the heterotrophic. The people means who are the things we are dependent on the other things. Okay, you'll understand this when I explain. Okay, organisms exhibiting the heterotrophic nutritions are called as heterotrophs. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು heterotrophic nutritions ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, means ಆ process ಅನ್ನ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಕರೀತಾರೆ? heterotropisms. Okay, heterotropisms. Examples which we can give it: yeast, fungi, bacteria, human beings, tiger, monkey, birds, lion, cow, etc. So these are the simple examples but the heterotrophs. Clear? Autotrophs are the things who will prepare their own food. Heterotrophs are the things which will depend on the other animals. Clear? Next, types of heterotrophic nutrition. Or we can tell it heterotrophs also, no problem. Okay, types of heterotrophic nutrition. First one is septotropic nutrition. First one is what? Septotropic nutrition. That is organisms which obtain their food from dead decaying plants and animals. Example, mushrooms. Okay, septotropic nutrients are those organisms which will obtain their food from dead decaying plants and the animals. Dead and decaying plants ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Septotropic nutrients will depend on dead and decaying organisms. Like example, we can give it as mushroom. So some people will think like what? Mushroom is a non-veg because of that. Aida? So but mushroom is not a non-veg, it's a natural process. So it's a veg itself. Okay. Next, parasitic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? Septotropic nutrition is done. Next, we'll get parasitic nutrition. So in parasitic nutrition, organisms obtain their food from the bodies of other living organisms. Like parasites usually harm the host while obtaining their food. Like example, leech. You might have seen the leech. So leech actually, it will attack to your leg, hand, anywhere. It will just suck your blood. So it means what it is? We are all a host, right? We all are a host, right? Now host to leech ಬಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಕುಡಿಯುತ್ತದು. ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕುಡಿದು ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ? We will hurt it, right? It's hurting a host. Clear? Next, Holozoic nutrition. Next is what? Holozoic nutrition. So it is a mode of a nutrition in which the organisms feed on the solid food. So organisms will feed, means they will depend on the solid food. That is, the food is a complex organic material which when indigested is broken down into the simple inorganic substances by the process called as digestion. So things means what? Means we will eat something, we'll drink something, we'll eat something. So those all things will be digested by ourselves. Okay. Now direct act tindu adane idin madlik baralla. We need to swallow it, we need to chew it 100 times and not 100 times, 32 times, and then we need to get it digested also. If it is not getting digested, it's not called as a process of hologic nutrition. Clear? So best example is humans, we can give it. Okay. Next comes nutrition in amoeba. This is also show question. Bala sala kelidare idan question anna. Okay. Important. Okay. Yes. Amoeba ingests into food by temporary finger-like projection of its body surface is called as pseudopodia. Is called as what? Pseudopodia. Means they don't have any shape. Amoeba is not having at all a shape. So they will be like what? Wherever they want, they will go. Okay, they will go, they will roam. They don't have a hand, leg and all those stuffs. They'll just spread like this big way and they'll attack all the things and it will take. Okay, that attacking thing will be done by pseudopodia. Simple, right? So when the pseudopodia fuses with the food particle, it forms a food vacuole. So you can just observe here the food particle which is present. This is the nucleus. This is the amoeba. This is a food particle which is present. It will go and attack the food particle in this way. This is a pseudopodia. This both are called as pseudopodia. This both the pseudopodia is attacking the food here. Clear? This will attack the food here. Once that is being attacked here, that time it will get inside. It will grab it like this. In this way it will grab it. Just check it out how it is grabbing. So in this way how it will grab it, and the food vacuole and the food particle which is present, so this will be going inside it. Okay, when it will go inside it, it will become a ejection. I'll explain you that also now. Okay, food vacuole is understood by the diagram. Next, complex substances are broken down into this complex substance, means this whatever it has been taken, no, that will break down into the simple substances. It will break down into the simple substances which will simple substances inside the food vacuole. Inside the food vacuole. Then these simple substances are then diffused into cytoplasm. It's been diffused into the cytoplasm in this way. Okay, it's been diffused into the cytoplasm. This is called a cytoplasm inside, and then the remaining unwanted material is been transported to the cell surface and is thrown out. Like how we do it, no? Unwanted things will go to the large intestine, and that large intestine will be removed. We will go, no? We'll poop and come, no? That way itself, they don't have any pooping thing at least. So they will, what they will do? They will take it. Okay, they will try to break down the simple particles. Same way how we do the digestion. Okay. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅದಪ್ಪ, ಏನೇನೋ ತಿಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಏನು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಇದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ. ಓಕೆ, ಅನ್ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೊರಗೆ ತೆಗೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ತರ? ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಪಾಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೇನೆ ಒಂಥರ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದು the thing will be thrown out easily with the help of cell surface. Clear? This is how the amoeba works. It's just like a human being itself. It's not like any different person. Same is there. Digestion is also happening there. The things with excretion is also happening there. Just the thing is, it's not like us. That's it. Okay. It can take any shape. It can take any shape. It can do anything. Clear? That is all about the nutrition in amoeba. Clear? ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬರಿದ್ದು ಅಮೀನಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅಮೀನಾಗೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಆಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಮೀನಾ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಮೀಬಾ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ನೈಸ್ ನಾ? Next, nutrition in paramecium. What is the work of nutrition in paramecium? The food is taken at a specific spot, that is the oral groove. So that is going to be the oral groove. Now, the food is brought close to the oral groove by the cilia present on the body surface of the paramecium. Cilia present at the body surface of the paramecium. Clear? This much you people remember it. Next comes what? This is the digestive system which you people need to remember. elaborate. In detail, we have this all things. We are going to discuss it with comparing this diagram. Clear? So this is what we are going to learn it in detail about the digestive system. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಕಲಿಯೋದು ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮು. ಈ ಡೈಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಿಮಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. ಎಸ್, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೈಕ್ ಅಟ್ಕಾಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕುಂತ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು? So the alimentary canal is a long tube extended from the mouth to the anus. One second. So this is the alimentary tube which is present from the mouth to till the stomach. It is been attached. That is called as what? Alimentary canal. Clear? This is called as what? Alimentary canal. Clear? Now food has been chewed and mixed with the saliva in the mouth with the help of a tongue and a teeth. With the help of the tongue and the teeth and the mouth, with the help of the mouth, inside the mouth teeth will be present and the tongue will be present. So both together it will chew the food with the help of the saliva. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅದು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಕ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಇಂದ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? Next, saliva which contains salivary amylases, saliva which contains the salivary amylases acts on the starch present in the food, which is present in the starch. So means food mein starch will be there. Okay, in food starch will be present and that starch will be chewed properly with the salivary amylase. Okay. Then next step, saliva is secreted 3 pairs of salivary glands. So saliva ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು glands ಇರುತ್ತೆ? 3 glands ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So ಯಾವುದು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಆಮೇಲೆ. Saliva is actually being secreted by 3 pairs of glands. Okay, 3 pairs of glands. So if you detail ಆಗಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕಲಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But for you people this much is enough. Okay. ಆಮೇಲೆ the food is being converted into the smaller particles. The food is being converted into the smaller particles and made smooth. It has made smooth by mixing it with mucus and the saliva. It has been mixed with the mucus and the saliva. It is now called as bolus. Okay, it is called as what? Bolus. This much you people need to remember. Now next, the bolus moves down through the esophagus by the peristaltic moves of the esophagus wall. Clear? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಏನು ಫುಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಫುಡ್ ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Slowly, once you people will chew it here, you people with the help of the saliva it will be chewed. With the help of the saliva it will be mixed properly, the starch and all, and slowly it will move to the stomach. Clear? ಇಷ್ಟಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ 8th standard ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು ಬಯಾಲಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವತ್ತು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಲಿಯೋದು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, once the bolus reaches the stomach, it is being acted upon by a HCl and the gastric juices and the pepsin. Okay, once the bolus been reaches, means once it reaches the stomach. Okay, ಏನೇನು ಫುಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ bolus ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇನು ಹೋಗಿ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ರಿಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಬೈ ದ HCl. ಸೊ HCl which is present in our stomach. ಸೊ ಏನು ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ this stomach may there will be a presence of HCl. Okay, there will be a presence of HCl. I'll write it properly. So HCl irutte, ಆ HCl react ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, HCl ಜೊತೆ react ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Done. So next comes what? Gastric juice and the pepsin also. Now HCl's work is what? It creates an acidic medium for the action of pepsin. The pepsin act ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ acidic medium means it needs to be acidic. So ಆ acidic medium HCl ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ತಿಳಿತಾ? Next, mucus prevents the lining of the stomach wall from the acidic environment. Means ನಿಮಗೆ acidity ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಏನು ತಿಂದ್ರೂ acidity ಆಗೋದಪ್ಪ. Actually if you tell nowadays the food has been come not organic way. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲ organic ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ unwanted things ತಿಂತೇವೆ ನಾವು. Like example burger, like example pizza, like example ice cream. So ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಂತೇವಿ. This is actually not good for our health. Okay, so ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಅದು ಚಲೋ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಚಲೋ ಇಲ್ದಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇದು ಮಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಏನು ಅಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. This will help us. Okay, next, pepsin converts the proteins into pesticides. Okay, peptides. So this pepsin which is there converts the proteins into the peptides. Okay, ಏನು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಪೆಪ್ಸಿನ್ಸು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ದ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಪನೀರ್ ತಿಂದ್ವಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಪನೀರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಪನೀರಿಂದ ಏನು ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ದ peptides. That peptides will help us to give the energy. Clear? Then the exit of the food from the stomach is being regulated by the sphincter muscles called as pyloric sphincter, or it is also called as pylorus. Okay, I don't know I'm pronouncing it properly or no. Okay, which releases the small amounts of partially digested food into the small intestine. Partially it is being converted, means partially it is being digested into the food. It's been digested into the food and into the small intestine. ತಿಳಿದಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಡನ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್. ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು? ಇನ್ನು ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಏನೇನು ಫುಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನಾದರೂ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಉಳಿತಪ್ಪ, ದಟ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವನ್ ಟು ದ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್. ಆಯಿತಾ? ಸೊ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇನ್ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ excretion means it will excrete out. Clear? In the form of a poop. Yes? Next, a small intestine is a very long tube found in the abdomen. So I told you just and shown you also. So it's present in the form of a abdomen. Means what? Stomach the talagade irutte. Aita? Next, it is also about 6 to 7 meters in length and about 2.5 to 3 centimeter wide. So it is almost 2.5 centimeter wide and it has a meter. Means how much length it is? That is 6 to 7 length is present. Just imagine guys, we are only so small and the almost 7 meters of length is being present in our body. Okay, so only they say we need to have a food. ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Because we need to be careful with those things. Okay, careful agi irlebeku. Okay, bile and the pancreatic juices are secreted into the small intestine. So in small intestine nalli bile matte pancreatic juices will be secreted into the small intestine. Clear? Next, bile acts on the fat molecules. This bile juice which is present, it will act on the fat molecules. Fat molecules are navi ಏನು ತಿಂತೇವಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? and breaks them into the small flat droplets. So this biles will act on the fat particles and will break it down. It will break it down into the flat droplets and those droplets will come and attach here. Like this we have fat, this fat, like that. Okay, this erases the action of the lipids on the fats and this process is called as what? Emulsification. So this process, whatever it is happening, that is called as emulsification. Clear? So this has also been asked 2 times. 2 marks question kiya ja raha hai. Yes, pancreatic juices contain different enzymes such as trypsin, lipase, maltase and peptidases and sucrose which acts on the food to convert it into the simpler units of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Carbohydrates, proteins and fats it will be converted. Clear aita? Next in madate intestinal. Okay, intestinal glands also secrete the intestinal juices which also contain enzymes. So iga intestinal glands enide alla, like example these are the glands. These are intestinal glands. Okay, these are intestinal glands. So those intestinal glands also secrete the intestinal juice. So in that also intestinal juice will be there which is helping us to get digested. Okay, then afterwards which also contains the enzymes which act on the carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Clear? Now the digested food is then observed by the walls of the small intestine. It will be observed by the walls of the small intestine. Clear? Then the presence of a brush-like borders like microvilli increases the surface area of the absorption. It will increase what? Surface area of the absorption. Clear? Yes, we have a huge chapter. It is actually a life process. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ 1 task ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? Next, the unobserved food is sent to the large intestine where the water is being observed into the blood stream. Okay, ಏನು unobserved food ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ means which is not necessary for our food body. Okay, is sent to the large intestine where water is being observed into the bloodstream. So last food particle ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ large intestine ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Large intestine ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನೀರಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದನ್ನ observation ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, so that it will directly go to the bloodstream and remaining things will be excreted out. Leftover material will be sent to the rectum, and that rectum, that is, it is being excreted out through the anus itself. Okay, then the opening of the anus is being controlled by the anal sphincters. Okay, this is how the things will work. Clear? I told you people what type of questions also will be asked here, right? Yes. Next comes what? Respiration. So what you are going to learn in the respiration now? Okay, in respiration we are going to be little faster, okay, because you have learned already about the respiration in detail. Okay, respiration is a catabolic process. It is what? It is a process of a catabolic process where releasing the energy from the simple sugar glucose for carrying out the various life processes. Means sugar glucose which is present, which is being produced by plants. Clear? So that has been also observed by us. Clear? Next, how it is actually going to work. And I just here, okay, glucose, it will react with O2. It will form what? CO2, that is carbon dioxide, and 6H2O and the ATP. Clear? This is the reaction for the respiration. You people need to practice this thing. It is important. Then next, the energy required for all the cellular activities is being obtained by oxidation of glucose. If glucose is not available, then the cells may break down proteins and fats to produce the glucose. So this glucose is then oxidized further to fulfill the respiratory needs of the cells. Okay, to fulfill the respiratory needs of the cell. Clear? Next, the first step towards the obtaining the energy. First step in it, they obtain energy. Means what? Obviously, we are going to get the energy with the help of oxygen itself, right? If we are not breathing properly, we will feel suffocated, right? If we are going to feel suffocated, it will affect to our other organs also in our body. Okay. So, is the 6-carbon glucose is being broken down into 2 molecules of 3-carbon pyruvate. This process has been taking place in the cytoplasm. This has been taking place in the cytoplasm. Clear? This much you people need to remember. Understood? Respiration is done. Clear? Yes. Next, aerobic respiration. What is the meaning of an aerobic respiration? Okay, the breakdown of the glucose in the presence of oxygen is called as aerobic respiration, and that process of aerobic respiration releases carbon dioxide, water and the energy. So this aerobic respiration is going to release the carbon dioxide, water and the energy. Clear? The simple definition, 1 marks question, no? Practice it well. Okay, now the energy released in the aerobic respiration is almost 268 kilocalories, or it is also 38 ATP. Okay, it is also a 38 ATP of the chemical energy and 420 kilocalorie of heat energy. 420 kilocalories of heat energy is being present in it. Clear? Now, most of the animals, plants, human beings, several bacteria and fungi are the aerobic. This all will be using the aerobic respirations. Okay, most of them. Okay, animals, plants, human beings, survival of bacterial, like example yeast and all those things, fungi, those all will be doing the aerobic respiration itself. Clear everyone? This aerobic respiration melenu almost 1 to 2 marks sure ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. Next comes anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration means the breakdown of glucose in the absence of oxygen. That was actually aerobic andre presence. So and the absence of respiration is called as anaerobic respiration. Clear? Next, the process of anaerobic respiration results in the formation of ethanol in the plants or lactic acid in animals, along with the release of carbon dioxide and energy. So, this process ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Just they might ask the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration also. So, ಹೀಗೆ just ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So, aerobic respiration ನಲ್ಲಿ actually it is a presence of oxygen, ಇಲ್ಲಿ absence of oxygen ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so next to the process of anaerobic respiration results in the formation of ethanol. Okay, ಇಲ್ಲಿ process of aerobic respiration releases carbon dioxide. ಇಲ್ಲಿ carbon dioxide ಮತ್ತೆ energy release ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, but here also water will be released. There the water will not be released. Okay, water is not being released in this process. That's what I told you. Second point, you can tell it. Okay, next, 2 ATPs are released. There only 1 ATP is released. Okay, during the anaerobic respiration, there in aerobic respiration only 1 ATP is being released. Clear? Now, during heavy and physical exercises such as cycling, running, lifting heavy weights, the body is being often depressed to the oxygen, right? So now also I am speaking very loudly. Even I'm speaking continuously. You might have felt it now that ma'am is breathing very heavily, right? So she's breathing heavily. Why she's breathing heavily actually? Because of this thing. This has been applied to my body right now. Okay, the demand of the energy is high because I need full energy right now, while the supply of the oxygen to the body is being limited. For that purpose, muscle cells performs an anaerobic respiration to fulfill the increasing energy to demand of the body. So in that case, glucose will get converted into the lactic acid. Glucose will get converted into the lactic acid. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೈತು ನಾ ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತೊಗೋತಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಕಬಡ್ಡಿ ಆಟಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೌತ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅದು ಹಾಗೆ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೇಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ತಗೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಟು do it. Clear? So the glucose, that is lack of the oxygen, glucose in the presence of the lack of the oxygen, the lactic acid plus the energy will be produced in our body. It will be produced in our body. Clear? Sometimes lactic acid formed during the anaerobic respiration of the muscle cells gets accumulated, causing the muscular cramps. So it will call sometimes the muscular cramps. ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಈಗೇನು ಓಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ 100 meters ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ 200 meters ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ದೇರ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 100 meters ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಟಯರ್ಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ರನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟರ್, ಓಕೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್, ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ದ ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, energy will receive it. Once the energy is being received by you people, what will be happening there? That time, if in case more energy is being getting released, that time what happens near your knees, not somewhere else, like that you might get a muscle cramp. Okay, muscle cramp andre red agodu, green agodu, that all things are called as muscular cramp. Clear? So this condition is called as what? Oxygen debt. Means what? Obviously, lack of oxygen is being converted from the glucose to the lactic acid. Oxygen is not there. The oxygen is not reaching to that muscular cramp. For that purpose, this is actually been happening to you. Okay. Next, in this presence, the sufficient oxygen, that is lactic acid, get oxidized to the carbon dioxide and the water. So this is how the procedure goes on in the anaerobic respiration. Clear? Next comes what? Respiration in plants. So all the parts of the plant perform the respiration, obviously. So plants exchange the gases by diffusion through the stomata. So I explained already the stomata diagram also for you people. Then oxygen from the air diffuses into the leaves and reaches the cells for the respiration. This also we have discussed it. Right, so oxygen will from the air diffuses into the leaves in the chloroform, and then all the cells for the respiration, that will be done by stomata. Then the carbon dioxide produced during the respiration is being released through air in the stomata. Then carbon dioxide, at the night time the procedure will be opposite. Okay, ಆಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ actually the trees will release the carbon dioxide that time and the absorption of the oxygen will be happening. Clear? Yes. In plants, respiration occurs during the day as well as during the night. So during the day also it will happen, during the night also it's going to happen. Next, during the day, oxygen produced during the photosynthesis is used for the respiration, and the extra amount of oxygen is being given through the stomata. The extra oxygen has been given through the stomata. Clear? Then the roots of the plants take up the oxygen from the air paused, so air present in between, and the roots and the soil particles. Clear? So the roots of the plants will take up the oxygen from the air, or dissolved in the water only. There will be a dissolved oxygen. From there also they can take it. Okay, and between the roots and the soil particles. That's what I told you. Okay, then the stems. Exchange of the gases occurs through the either by the stomata or lenticles. Okay, through the stomata at least exchange of the gases means we are giving them the oxygen, they are giving us the CO2, that is carbon dioxide. That exchange will be happening with the help of the stomata or in the help of the lentices. Okay, this is what you people need to remember the points. So ignore one topic addakshan you few points ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ. So you points ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು just ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? Next, respiration in animals. Different animals have evolved different respiratory organs. Like amoeba, that is simple diffusion through the cell membrane. So I am just easily to remember it. Okay, like amoeba, simple diffusion through the cell membrane it is happening. Earthworm is with the help of the skin, and fish with the gills. So this is how actually the animals will actually breathe. Examples I'm just giving you. Okay, next, human respiratory system. Now how the digestive system worked you got to know. Now we are going to learn how actually the human respiratory system is been working. Okay, now the respiratory system is the human beings consist of nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronch and lungs, and then the lungs. These are the parts of the respiratory diagram, and this is also an important diagram. You need to practice this. Okay, you need to practice this concept properly. Clear? Next, air is taken through the nostrils. You people know we will take the air through the nostrils. Okay, how through the mouth with the help of the saliva and the teeth we are eating it. Same way we are going to breathe in with the help of the nose itself. Clear? So here, hairs present in the nostrils prevent the entry of the dust particles inside the nose. So whenever you are breathing, okay, you will feel a very dirty things present in your nose, inside the nose, right? So how you will feel it, dirty things which are present in the nose, which is present in your nose? Because see, ಈಗ ನೀವು ಬ್ರೀದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಓಕೆ, ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತಂದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಉಸಿರಾಡ್ತಂದು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಸಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂತೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಆ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸು ವೈಲ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್, ದಿಸ್ ಹೇರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ಓಕೆ, which will entry means hair particles which are present near our nose, that will help the dusty particles to not to go inside. So in case ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ it might affect our lungs. So for that purpose we need the hairs which are present inside our nose, that is very helpful to us. It will not make the dust particles to get inside. If you go, it will dust particles will get inside it by mistakenly also. So what will happen, there will be a irritation, and there will be like what breathing problems will start. So such things will get started. Clear? Next, nostrils further continue to the nasal cavity. So they will convert into the nasal cavity. Clear? So this nose which is there, okay, from there the nasal cavity will be continued. Clear? Okay. So this here is the nasal cavity. Okay, from there the lungs will be attached. Next, nostrils humidity, the air passing through it, and there is a bony plate. There is a bony plate called as palate, which separates the oral cavity from the nasal cavity, and the nasal cavity opens into the pharynx. Nasal cavity will open into the pharynx. Clear? So next, the pharynx is a muscular is a muscular chamber acting as an common passage for the windpipe and the trachea and the food pipe esophagus. So normal andre eno, so illinda one pipe hogutte, okay, I'll just tell, illinda one hogutte, illinda one hogutte. So here what is present, okay, this both the things which are connecting here, that is called as, that is a thing where it is being connected. Means sometimes ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಟಸ್ಕಿ ಹತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. ಟಸ್ಕಿ ಹತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬಾಯಿಂದನೇ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಬಟ್ ಮೂಗಿಂದ ನೀರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? Simple way to understand. Okay. Yes, it is connected to the larynx through the slit-like opening called as gluteus, and the larynx is called as voice box of the Adam's apple. The larynx is going to be act like a voice box to the Adam's apple. Now I'm able to speak because of that. Okay. Next, the larynx connects the pharynx to the trachea, and then the trachea shows the presence of the cartilaginous rings. So cartilaginous rings will be what? In the trachea. Means trachea will show the cartilaginous rings. Then the cartilaginous rings provide the flexibility through the facilitating continues the airflow. Means it will allow it is showing the direction. You need to go here, you need to go there. So even now near bainda kudre, you need to go here, not there outside from the nose you are going to come out. Okay. So ಆ nose ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಟಸ್ಕಿ ಹತ್ತಿದಾಗ, ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ನೋಸ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಟ್ರಾಚಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಗೋ ಡೌನ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ನಾಟ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ your nose. Okay, whatever you're eating. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅದು ಇದ್ದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, ಸೊ ನಾವು ಏನು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಹೆವಿಲಿ ಸಡನ್ಲಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಚಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್, ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರು ಜಲ್ದಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಗ್ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ, ಆಯಿತಾ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಗೋ. See, my pen fell down. Yes, pen came up. Yes. Next comes what? The inner walls of the trachea is lined by a mucous membrane. So the inner wall of trachea which is present, that has actually been lined up with the mucous membrane, which is consisting of ciliated columnar epithelial. Okay, ciliated epithelium. Ciliated columnar epithelium. Clear? The inner wall of the trachea. Done. Trachea is giving the direction for the things to go where actually you need to go, and then this is lined by a mucous membrane consisting of ciliated columnar epithelium. Clear? Next, the trachea divides into the two branches or tubes called as bronchi, one of which enters the right lung and the other enters the left lung. Okay, other will enter the left lung and one more will enter the right lung. Next, the bronchi have a setiginous rings for the distension, and each bronchus divides into the 5 secondary bronchi. This bronchi further divide into the finer tertiary bronchi in the lungs, and each bronchi finally divides into the finger and the smaller branches called as bronchioles. So this is also very important. On this also they will ask 1 to 2 marks. So nicely make up points. Already na points ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಈ ತರನೇ ಓದಬಹುದು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಥಿಯರಿ ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಥಿಯರಿ ತರ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ ವೈಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಫ್ ಐ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ. ಎಸ್. Next, what happens? The bronchioles divide repeatedly to form a cluster tiny air chambers called as sacs, or it is also called as what? Alveoli. Okay. Next, alveoli have a thin moist walls which enables the gaseous diffusion with the blood capillaries. With the blood capillaries, this alveoli will have a thin and a moist walls. Okay, moist walls, thin and moist walls means it's like a chip-chipa. Okay. Next, the lungs are the pair of a spongy and elastic respiratory organs protected by a bony rib cage. You know already how it has been protected, like this. It will be protected. I will show you people. Yes, this is how it has been detected. Okay. So ee tara detect agirutte. It's protecting because our lungs are very important, guys. We are not able to lungs. If lungs are not there, we can't survive only. Okay. Yes. The lungs are the pair of spongy, I told you. The base of the lungs rests at the diaphragm. Means whenever you breathe, it will get, it will, inside it will go. It will come out like that. Interaction is happening. Big, small. like that. Okay, next what happens, each lung is covered by a two membrane, and each lung, which means we have two lungs. In that, each is covered by a two membranes, and the inner membrane is called as what? Inner or vacuolar pillow, and the outer membrane is called as what? Outer or periosteal flume. Okay, so this is what you people need to remember. The diaphragm is actually curved. It is in a form of a curved structure. Like you can check it out here, how it has been curved in structure, which is present yes. Now, understood how it has been seen here? Just 1 second. Yes. The diaphragm plays a major role during the respiration. It will play very important role while respirating. Means when you are inhaling the oxygen, it goes inside. When you are means exhaling the carbon dioxide, that when it will come out. Means explosion. It is going inside, it's coming inside, outside. Like that it has been working everywhere. Means in our body, it will play a very important role. Now, intercostal muscles found between the ribs and the radial muscles of the diaphragm bring about the breathing movements. It brings about almost the breathing movements. That's what I told you. The way contracting and it's going inside like that. Okay. I don't know the proper name how they will tell it. Okay. When we breathe, the ribs are pulled upwards and the diaphragm becomes flat, which results in an increase in the volume of the gas. So it will increase in the volume of the gas when we breathe in. Means oxygen is going inside. No. So for that purpose, it will be like what? It will be like heavier completely when they will be removing. Means when you are exhaling out the carbon dioxide. More than that, when you are inhaling, that will be big. Okay. Lungs will be big. Now, when we breathe out, the ribs come back to their normal position and the diaphragm is been relaxed and the lungs attain their normal size. The lungs attain their normal size and the air has been expelled out of the body through the nostrils. So through the body nostrils, it has been exposed. Clear? So this much you people need to remember. Understood this? Next, transportation. Transportation in human beings like blood. The blood is a liquid connective tissue and the functions of a blood. What is actually the function of the blood? How is been? So now again, ನಾನು ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗ ಏನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊತಿದ್ದೆ ಏನು ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ that we are going to learn today. Okay. So the blood is a liquid connective tissue. This is actually a liquid connective tissue which is present. And what are the functions of blood is that transports the oxygen from the lungs. It will transport the, means whatever the transportation, how it's been happening transportation, it transports the oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. From the lungs it will convert, means blood is actually helping us to convert that oxygen into the from the lungs to the tissues. Okay, from the lungs to the tissues which are present in the whole body, right? So tissues and the carbon dioxide from the tissues to the lungs, carbon dioxide to the tissues and from the lungs. This is how the transportation is happening. Clear? Next, transport cellular waste products from the tissues to the kidneys. From the tissues to the kidneys. Clear? Then transports the nutrients from the intestine to the tissues. From the intestine, it will go to the tissues. Next, what happens? Carries the hormones from the place where they are being produced to the target organ. So where they have produced, almost everything will get purified in the heart. So after that, where it should go? What should be transported and where it should be transported, that will be seen by the blood. Okay, and blood will help to transport the things actually. Okay, next what happens? Defense mechanism. What is the defense mechanism of it? Now, while the blood cells destroy the diseases causing microorganisms like blood cells which are present, if in case WBC and RBC is there, now something has been, virus has been coming inside our body, it will attack there and then it will tell us to go far from us. Clear? And thus the help in preventing the infection. Now, blood platelets prevent the exclusive blood loss by the blood clotting. So this blood platelets will handle. Now you are getting some injury, then afterwards ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ blood flow ಆಗಿರ್ತೈತೆ. So ಆ blood flow ಆಗೋದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ platelets help ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Platelets will help the flow of the, means clotting of the blood to stop it. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಇಫ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ದರ್. ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಂದಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಲೆಟ್ಸು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಅಂಥ ಪೀಪಲ್ಗೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪೆಟ್ ಹತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ನೋ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ next comes what? Regulatory functions. So in regulatory functions, the blood maintains the water balance in the tissues and organs of the body. Okay, now it also regulates the body temperature by disturbing the heat in the different parts of the plant, in different parts of the body. So it also regulates the body temperature and it has been distributing the heat in the different parts of the body. Now you're running very speed. Okay, when you run very speed and you'll come and stay. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಲ್ತು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಯುವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಹೀಟೆಡ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಹೀಟ್ನೆಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬೀನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಓಕೆ, then next, composition of the blood. So we have plasma in it, that is, it is a light yellow colored or a straw colored liquid it is, and it consists of almost 55% of total blood volume. So plasma is almost 55%. Okay, next, blood cells are what? Blood cells consist of 45% of total blood volume, and 3 kinds of cells are found in the blood. So what are those 3 kinds? That is red blood cells, white blood cells, and blood platelets. So these are the 3 kinds of cells which are present inside the blood. Sorry, inside the blood. Okay, not bulb. So next, red blood cells. So in red blood cells also is all called as short form. ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹೆಸರು ಕರೀತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಚಿನ್ನು ಮುನ್ನು, ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಅವಕ್ಕೂ RBCs ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, means red blood cells. Clear? Now RBCs are a circular disc shaped and a bioconcave. So RBCs are what? It is a circular disc shaped and bioconcave. Clear? Biconcave we can tell it. And here they are produced in the bone marrow of the long bones. So it is being produced where? It is being produced in the bone marrow. Bone marrow ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬೋನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾರೋ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, that bone marrow of the long bones, which we have a long bones here, we have the long bones humerus. So there's all long bones which are present, there it will be produced. Now mature RBCs do not have a nuclei. So yeah, ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, means maturely it will be, mature means longer time it has been produced, so those all will not be having any nuclei in it. Okay, next, the lifespan of the RBCs is 120 days. So again it will produce, means 120 days ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದರ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಮ್ದೀಗ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಮನುಷ್ಯರದು 60 to 80 ಇದೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, RBCs are made up of iron containing respiratory pigment called as hemoglobin. So this RBCs are made up of iron, so only they will tell. So iron ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕು? ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಿಮ್ದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, hemoglobin level if it is less, then you should eat iron things which is rich in iron, like ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ, ಪಾಲಕು, ಆ ತರ greeny vegetables which are there, those all have a iron content in it. Okay, those iron content will be seen through the RBCs. Then next comes what? The hemoglobin transports the oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. So what is the work of the hemoglobin? It will transport the oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. Clear? This is all about the RBCs, and RBC is very important part, guys. They will ask the questions on this. Okay, yes. Next we are going to go on white blood cells. So in white blood cells, irregular, colorless, larger than the RBCs, and they have a large and lobed nucleus. They have large and lobed nucleus. Now WBCs are produced in the bone marrow, Leydig glands and the spleen, and WBCs are also provide the immunity. So nam WBC indane immunity sigodu. In case white blood cells are very less in our body, then will not get a good immunity. So ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿರಬಹುದು ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಟ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಕಷಾಯ ಕುಡೀರಿ, ಈ ಕಷಾಯ ಕುಡೀರಿ, ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಅಗ್ರಿ, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ. ಐ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗ ಒಮ್ಮೆಗೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಬಂತಂತ ಫುಲ್ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ದಿವಸ ಕಷಾಯ ಕುಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅ ಹೀಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ವಿಚ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಫುಡ್, ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ rich immunity food like that, so that we will balance the nutrition properly. Clear? Next comes what? Blood platelets. This is blood platelets are the minute oval and a round round non-nucleated cells. Okay, and platelets are formed in the bone marrow. It is also been formed in the bone marrow itself, same like a RBC. Okay, and the blood platelets play an important role in blood clotting. Now already ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ blood clotting ನಲ್ಲಿ blood platelets ಬಹಳ helpful ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So in case someone will fell, they have got hurt in the head, leg, hand, anywhere. So what happens? The blood will be flowing. Okay, this blood platelets will help the blood flow to reduce it. This is what the importance of blood platelets is. Next comes what? Heart, the pumping organ. Now we studied about the digestive system, we studied about the respiratory system. Next comes the pumping organ, that is our heart. So because of our heart only we are right now here. Okay, so this is a heart 3D structure which I have given you people, and this is a normal structure which you people need to draw it in your exams. Okay, this is also very important, guys. Important diagram. You must do this diagram properly. Clear? So this is the diagram. We'll learn in detail about the heart now. Now, location of the heart is what? The heart is a muscular organ located in the chest cavity towards the left side. So, towards the left side, our heart is being present. That everyone knows, right? Next comes what? Size. The adult humans, it is about size of the one's wrist. So, this is right now my size is what? This is my size. This is my size. This is my size of the heart. So like that only humans fist it is. Okay, ishtu nimda heart irutte, nimde ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಿಕ್ಕದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಂದು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇಷ್ಟು heart ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Actually this is a guessing, it's not like completely true. Okay, next, covering what? Covered by a double membrane called as pericardium. Okay, and it contains the lubricating pericardial fluid. It is containing what? It is lubricating the pericardial fluid. Now the pericardial fluid provides the lubrication during the contraction and the relaxation of the heart. So contraction and relaxation of the heart means what? It is beating right now. Okay, I am breathing, the oxygen is going inside, coming inside through the lungs, and the blood is getting purified in the heart. That will be procedure will be going on only, right? So that time it is happening what? So that time the relaxation of the heart is happening. Done. Now it also protects the heart from the mechanical injuries. So it also protects the heart from the mechanical injuries. Mechanical injuries means what? If we fell at the left side, it should not hurt. Like example, bone. If the bone is being covered, it's near to the lungs, it is present, right? So ಏನಾದರೂ ribsಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆದರೆ it might affect to the heart itself. Clear? Next comes chambers of heart, which is very important. Okay, chambers of heart ಮೇಲೆ questions ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, now internally the heart has been divided into the 4 chambers. First is 2 thin walled upper chambers, left atrium and right atrium, and the 2 thick lower chambers, that is left ventricle and the right ventricle. So these are the things. Clear? Here you can check it out. This is the left ventricle. Okay, and this is the right. Okay, this is left ventricle. Where is our right ventricle? One second, guys. Yes, this is our right ventricle. Clear? So these are the things which you people need to remember. These are our 1, 2, 3, 4 chambers. Okay, here it's not visible properly because it is a 3D structure. Okay, here I'm telling you. So these are the 4 chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Now what is the work of the chambers also we'll learn. Okay, yes, the superior vena cave brings the deoxygenated blood from the anterior. Okay, anterior dinda ಏನು ತೊಗೊಂಬರುತ್ತೆ? Deoxygenated blood ತೊಗೊಂಬರುತ್ತೆ. What it will bring? Deoxygenated blood from the anterior part of the body, that is head, chest, arms to the right atrium. Okay, means ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ heart, brain ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದೆಲ್ಲ blood ತೊಗೊಂಬರುತ್ತೆ. Deoxygenated blood will be brought, means it will be having some dirty things, you can tell it like deoxygenated ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಪ್ಯೂರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ತರ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? So deoxygenated blood from the anterior and part of the body, that is head, chest, arms of the right arm, and the inferior vena cave brings the blood from the posterior region of the body, that is including abdominal, legs and the right atrium. Okay, ಯಾವುದು ಏನೇನು ತರುತ್ತೆ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್? ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ವೀನ್ ಏನು ತರುತ್ತೆ? ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ತರುತ್ತೆ? ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಹೆಡ್, ಚೆಸ್ಟ್, ಆರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೈಟ್ ಆಂಟ್ರಿಯಮ್ ದಿಂದ ತರುತ್ತೆ. Clear? So, inferior VRA it will bring it from the abdominal, legs, right atrium. So, allindella blood tarate, deoxygenated blood tarate, purify madilikke. Aita. Now, the blood from the right atrium enters to the right ventricle. Okay. So, right atrium dinda, one second. Right atrium dinda it enters to the right ventricle. Right atrium, where is our right atrium? Yes. So, e right ventrium in the right ventricle ke pass agutte. Clear? I'll change the color. So, illinda pass agutte. Clear? Understanding, no? This is our right ventricle. It is going to the right auricle. Ventricle. Okay. Right atrium to the enters to the right ventrium. One second, right. Okay. Next comes what? From the right ventricle, the blood is sent to the lungs from the right ventricle. Okay. Right ventricle in the blood will be sent to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. Through the pulmonary artery, it will be passed. Clear? Next, blood vessels leaving the heart. Now, 4 pulmonary veins are there. That is oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left atrium, and from the left atrium, the blood enters to the left ventricle. Same way, okay? From the left ventricle, it will reach to the... One second, guys. Yes. From here it will go, okay? Yes. From the left ventricle, oxygenated blood is sent to all the parts of the body through the aorta. Now what happens? Heart valves prevent the black flow of the blood or regulates the flow of the blood in the single direction. ಈಗ 2 3 4 5 ಪೈಪ್ ಇದೆ ಓಕೆ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬಹುದಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬಹುದು but this heart walls which are present here, these are the heart walls which are present, this all walls which are present, no, these all walls, these will help them to go where actually you should go, there only you should go, don't go here and that will help them, okay, those will help them. Next, the triscubed valve which has 3 projections or cups is located between the right atrium and the left ventrium, between the right ventrium and the left ventrium, right ventrium and the right ventricle. So bicubed valve, that is also called as bicubed valve or mitral valve, has 2 projections or cups and is being located between the left atrium and the left ventricle, and the opening of the left ventricle into the aorta and the opening of the right ventricle into the pulmonary artery is being guaranteed by the semilunar walls. So these are called as semilunar walls, okay? These are the semilunar walls which are present. It will be like directed, means it will divert. It's not like we are going to andre on cement deno godi tagdilla in between the things, but this thing which is there, which is present, this is semilunar walls, this is helping to divide the things. It will helping to divide the things. Done? Yes. Next comes the double circulation. So heart in the 100% sure question billette. Make sure you people will study it. Make sure you people will study that, okay? Yes. So the heart receives the deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body, and it pumps this blood into the lungs, and the oxygenated blood from the lungs returns to the heart, which is pumped again into the different pairs of the body by the heart. Thus the blood passes twice through the heart, making one complete round through the body. This is called as double circulation. This is called as what? Double circulation. This is also important, guys. They will ask the questions on it also, okay? So this is how the works, capillary beds in the tissues. This is how the pulmonary and schematic circulation works. So you can just go through this. It has not been asked, but you can just go through this, okay? Next, the pulmonary circulation pertains to the lungs, and the blood flow from the right ventricle, to the lungs, and the pulmonary veins will collect oxygenated blood from the lungs and carry it back to the heart, that is to the left ventricle. Same way how the heart was working, okay? Little bit. The symmetric circulation penetrates the major circulation of the body, and the aorta receives the blood from the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle left ventricle and sends it to the various parts of the body. So this veins will collect the deoxygenated blood from the body parts and pour it back to the right ventricle. It will pour it back to the right ventricle. Clear? Next comes the blood pressure. So what is a meaning of a blood pressure? So this is actually related to the heart itself. It's related to the heart itself. Okay. Okay. Blood pressure is the pressure which blood exerts on the walls of the body, blood vessels, and the blood pressure is the articles during the ventricular systole is called as systolic pressure. Okay, it's also called as what? Systolic pressure. And the blood pressure is the arteries during the one second guys. Yes, the blood pressure is the arteries during the ventricle systole is an systolic pressure, and the blood pressure is the in and ventricles during the vertical diastole is called as diastolic pressure, and the person's blood pressure is usually expressed in the systolic pressure over the diastolic pressure. Why? Because the normal blood pressure for the adult human is how much? 120 by 80 mmHg. Okay, 80 mmHg. So the blood pressure varies according to the age and the health of the person. Yes, depends on the age and the health of the person. So next comes what? The high blood pressure is also called as hypertension, while the low blood pressure is also called as hypotension. Hypertension and a hypotension. Clear? This much you people can understand it. Next comes what? The blood vessels. We have a artery, vein and the capillaries. Okay, let's learn it detail. So artery is one. An artery is a blood vessel which carries the blood away from the heart towards any organ. It's away from the heart and towards every organ. Artery's work is only take oxygenated blood, it will take it and pass it to whole body. Okay, it will transfer it to whole body. And it has an elastic and a thick muscular walls also, so that it is very strong. And the narrow cavity through which the blood actually is been falling. Narrow cavity means what? Easily the blood will be coming out from the heart. Okay. And the largest artery is the aorta. So largest one is what? Aorta, where from there the blood is going to come out, oxygenated blood. Okay. What is the work of a vein? So vein is a vessel which carries the blood away from the organ towards the heart. Okay. Away from the organ. Organ in the jokon bandu heart ik tarutte. Yen madutte heart ik tandu deoxygenated blood anna tond barutte, so that it will get oxygenated. It will get oxygenated. Now it has a thin muscular walls also and a broad cavity through which the blood will flow, so that easily the blood flow of the blood will happening. So those things needs to get, if it will get blocked, we will tell it like what? The person has got a heart attack. Heart attack agutte anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಆ time ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇವು block ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ heart attack ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? So the process is not happening smoothly. Something is interacting. Okay. Next, the veins have a walls which prevent the black flow of the blood. It prevents the black flow of the blood. Means, ಬರ್ತಿದೆ pipe ಇಂದ. Okay. ಒಮ್ಮೆ sudden ಆಗಿ pressure ಬಂತಪ್ಪ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So this should not happen. If that things are going to happen, it's going to be like a person will get a heart attack chances also. Clear? Now what is the meaning of capillaries? So this capillary is a very narrow blood vessel which is located within the tissue. It's been located within the tissue. Now it has the extremely thin wall, and this artery is branched to form the arterioles, and the anterioles break up into the capillaries. Clear? Into the capillaries. Now this capillaries gradually reunite to form a venules, and this venules further combine to form a veins. So this capillaries allows the exchange of materials such as our nutrients, metabolic waste and the respiratory gases between the blood and the cells. This is how the capillaries are going to work. Clear? Yes, lymph and lymphatic system. So as the blood flows through the capillaries, the water, dissolved substances and a few white blood cells, that is WBC, through the capillary walls into the spaces into the spaces between the cells, and that is intercellular spaces. It is going near where? Intercellular spaces. Now this fluid is called as what? Tissue fluid. It is called as what? A tissue fluid. Next, the white blood cells in the lymph protect the body against the diseases, and this lymphatic system carries the exclusive tissue fluid back to the blood. This lymphatic system will actually carry what? It will carry all exclusive tissue fluid which is from back to the blood itself, back to the blood itself. Next, some tissues fluid enters the tiny vessels called as lymph capillaries, and the lymph capillaries further join the lymph vessels. Means what? From the lymph capillaries, this capillaries will further start joining. It means what? They are becoming a friends there. Okay, it will go to the lymph vessels, and that lymph vessels together with a small sac-like structures called as lymph nodes also from the lymphatic system. From the lymphatic system. Means what? First to lymph capillaries irute, and lymph capillaries do further join agutte yatra jode lymph vessels jode. It will go and further go and attack with the lymph vessels, and this lymph vessels will together with the small sac-like structures called as lymph nodes, which will go and react with the lymph nodes from the lymphatic system. From where? From the lymphatic system. Now, this lymph vessels from different parts of the body join to form a ducts of tubes. Okay, it will form a ducts, or also it might produce a tubes also. Okay. Now, the colorless fluid which flows within the lymphatic system is called as lymph. What is called as lymph? The colorless fluid which has been within the lymphatic system is called as lymph. Clear? Next, clotting of blood. So, coagulation, when a blood vessel is cut, blood escapes from it. Soon a clot is being formed on the wound and the flow is being stopped. So, that blood clotting is called as what? Complex process. That is called as complex process. Now, the platelets will release an enzyme at the site of injury. Okay, the platelets will release the enzymes at the site of injury. We have got any injury right now on our hand. Okay, that platelets will start producing the enzymes there, so that the blood clot should stop there. Okay, next, these enzymes will convert the fibrogen present in the blood plasma into the fibrin. So, what is the work happening there? So, enzymes will hogi ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ actually. So, enzymes ಹೋಗಿ that will convert. ಏನು convert ಮಾಡ್ತಾ blood inflow ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ fibrogen will actually be present and the blood plasma into the fibrin. Now, this fibrin forms the fine mesh into which the RBCs get trapped. So, this fibrin which is present, it will form the fine mesh into the RBCs which will get trapped there. Okay. Next, this fibrin along with the trapped RBCs contracts and forms the clot, thus the stopping the bleeding. So, this is how actually when this procedure is so quite like some people it will take a long process, some people it will immediately becomes. Okay. So, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ blood slowly ಬರ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಲ್ಲುತ್ತೆ. This whole procedure needs to happen. No, so it will be little bit slow. Okay, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಂದಿಗೆ fast ಇರುತ್ತೆ as they have a good immunity powers. Okay. Next, heart is the other vertebrates like fish. Two-chambered heart is present and one atrium and one ventricle is present there, and the heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the gills for the oxygenation, and the oxygenated blood from the gills is supplied to all the body parts. So, what happens in the amphibians and the reptiles ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 3 chambers heart ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ನಮ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಇದೆ, fish ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಇದೆ, reptiles ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಪ್ಪ 3 ಇದೆ. And the 2 atria and the 1 ventricle, due to the incomplete division within the heart, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will mix to small extent. Okay. Next, the birds, how it will be having, it also have a 4 chambers like our human beings, and 2 atrial and 2 ventricles, same like us only. And the left side of the heart is being completely separated from the right side of the heart and prevent mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Means it is being separated like this so that the left side will be different and the right side will be different. In the what? In the birds. Okay. These are few information for the other animals. Okay. Next, transportation in plants. So, what happens in the transportation of plants? We have, I think, then excretion we have. Transportation in the plants is the process by which the substance is being observed or synthesized in one part of the plant is being transported to the other parts of the plant. The means what the substances is being transferred from the transport system are water, minerals, food prepared by the plants, and the conducting tissues in plants, example xylem and phloem. So these xylem and phloem will is only going to help us to transport the transportation whatever is happening in the plants, that will be done by xylem and phloem. Now in short you have learned it in your lower classes. Now in detail we will learn it today. Okay, now this is actually the epidermis, cortex, xylem how it is looks, phloem how it looks in the plants. Ee tara actually plants nalli xylem matte phloem irutte. So this is called as xylem which is present, okay, and this is called as phloem which is present. Okay, outside is the first the phloem will be there, inside layer is the xylem. Okay, now xylem, it conducts the water upwards in the plant, means it acting like a pump illa ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೋಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಮೋಟರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಪಂಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಗೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಟಿಪ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Clear? Xylem also provides the strength to the stem and helps the plants to stand upright. So xylem is also like what? Plants will be straight, no, always, right? Some plants will be like this, they will be having a branches there, but they will be always be straight. How they are straight actually? They are straight because of the xylem. Clear? Now it is located in the center of the plant body. It is located at the center of the plant body. That's what I told. Inner wall is a xylem, outside comes the phloem. Okay. Now xylem mainly consists of a tracheids and vessels. Now what is the mechanism of a transport of the water and the minerals? How it's been happening now? Okay, now water enters the root hair through the osmosis and the mineral ions enter the root cells by the active transport. So water will enter into the root hair first, you know, then it will go to the stem. Now both the water and the mineral moves upwards from the cell to cell through the cortex of the root by the osmosis. By the process of osmosis, cell to cell through the cortex of the root or cortex of the root, it is helped with the osmosis process. Okay, now from the cortex what is happening there? Water and the minerals has been brought to the xylem. Okay, ella ತಗೊಂಬಂದು xylem ಕಡೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಡನಾ? ನಾವು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ಇದು ಮೇನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ xylem? ದ ಸ್ಯಾಪ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗೇನೋ ನಾವೀಗ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೀರು ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಒಂದು ವೆಸಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಗುಂಡಿಗಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ಟ್ minerals will be present. Okay, water and the dissolved minerals now upwards from the root cells to the xylem, and the upwards movement of the sap is called as what? Ncert of sap. Okay, ncert of sap. Next, the xylem vessels of the roots are in continuation with the xylem vessels of the stem. Okay, xylem vessels of the stem. Next comes what? One second, guys. Okay, it got repeated. Next comes what? Transpiration is the loss of the water in the form of a water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Now, it occurs through the opening called as stomata. With the help of stomata, it is going to get opened. Now, water loss through the evaporation lowers the concentration of the water inside the mesophyll cell. Okay, now water loss will be present, obviously sun is too much, then water content which is present that might get observed there, so that also might happen. So ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಒಣಗಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಣಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, now due to this water enters the mesophyll cells and the neighboring xylem vessels through the osmosis process. As the water evaporates from the leaves, the suction force is being created. Obviously force ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ನಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ we will be forced to eat anything, drink anything, right? Now this force helps to draw more water up through the stem, which causes the roots to absorb the more water from the soil. That's what I'm telling you. ಈಗ ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ 2 ದಿನ ಉಪವಾಸ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಪ್ಪ? we will suck everything. No, that's the thing actually is happening. Okay, higher the rate of transpiration, greater the rate of absorption of the water and solutes from the soil. So this transpiration also helps in maintaining the temperature of the plant body. So this transpiration, whatever is happening, that depends on the temperature of that plant also. Like how, if it is, we are providing the water to that, okay, xylem in the ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅದು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು, ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿದೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಸಾಯಿಲು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, phloem. Now it conducts the manufactured food from the leaves to the different parts of the plant. The food as within phloem can move in the upward, downward directions. Phloem mainly consists of sieve tube cells and the companion cells. Sieve tubes are living cells of the phloem. Okay, sieve tubes are the living cells of the phloem. They contain the cytoplasm but no nucleus. So phloem nalli they contain the cytoplasm, but they will not be having any nucleus in it. Okay, these sieve tubes have a small pores in which of the food will pass through the phloem. So ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು xylem ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಿನರಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ each part of the plant. What is the work of the phloem? Phloem is actually been transferring the food to all part of the plant. Okay, ಈಗ ನಾವು ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಮ್ಮ ಫುಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೇಮ್ ಅದೇ ತರ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲ ನೀನು phloem means plant will prepare the own food. Now when the placemate is preparing the own food, okay, that should be transferred to the other parts of the plant also, right? So it will be transferred by whom? Phloem. Clear? Now each sieve tube cell has a companion cell next to it. Now what is a mechanism of the phloem? Okay, how it has been doing? Now whatever the food has been synthesized during the photosynthesis, it is located into sieve tubes by utilizing the ATP. By utilizing the ATP, it has been loaded into the sieve tubes. Okay, now presence of the food inside the phloem develops the concentration gradient for the water. Thus the water enters the phloem by the process of osmosis. Same like we have a saliva, same like that only. Now osmosis develops high pressure inside the phloem which transport the food from the phloem to the plant parts where the concentration of the food is less. So ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಬೇಕಿದೆ, they are going to die now, that places ko what they will do, this osmosis process will give the pressure to the phloem to go and give the food to that. Clear? This much only work. Okay, now this process is actually called as what? Translocation. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Now in spring the sugar sorted root or stem tissues is transported by to the buds. So in spring season these things will be happening. Now xylem and phloem consist of the conducting tissues and are known as vascular tissues. These are called as what? Vascular tissues. This you people know. Important. Next comes what? Excretion, last part. So excretion is a removal of the harmful and unwanted substances, especially nitrogenous wastes from the body. Like human urinary systems consist of pair of kidneys, pair of uterus, pair of bladder, urinary bladder and a urethra. Now let's learn it. Pair of a kidney means what? Dark red bean shape, 10 centimeter long and 6 centimeter wide it will be. Okay, it will be 6 centimeter wide and 10 centimeter long. The kidneys will look in a bean shape. Okay, in this shape itself. This is the kidneys. How it is looking? You can just observe it there. It's looking like a bean like structure, right? Next, pair of a uterus. Now uterus are a tube-like structure which arises from the notch. That is hilum of the each kidney. Okay. Now this uterus connect behind with the urinary bladder. So you can just observe here. Here it is. So these are actually how it's gonna work. This is the urethra. This is the both kidneys. Then this is the urinary bladder. Okay. Next, urinary bladder. What is the work of urinary bladder now? The muscular sac-like structure, it stores the urine temporarily. It will store for some time, again then you need to release it out. Again it will do its work, again you should release it out. That's the work of urinary bladder. Okay, it opens in the guarded by the muscular spintrals and the spinnerts open at the time of malnutrition, that is urination. Okay, I don't know how to spell this thing. Oh, I hope I have spelled it good. Okay. Now, short muscular tube which expels the urine out of the body, and this urethra is a long in males and is very short in the female. So, the opening guarded by the sphincters which open at the time of the urination. So, whenever you want to urinate, that will be given connected to brain, and it will nervous system will tell it, I want to urinate, then it will open it, and then we can urinate it easily. Next comes the uriniferous tubule. So this is the uriniferous tubule, how it works. This is also, they will also ask in those also some questions. Practice this, okay? They'll not ask a diagram. They'll just ask some questions on it, okay? Next, this is uriniferous tubule, that is each kidney is composed of a enormous number of a uriniferous tubules, and they also known as what? Nephrons. This is also known as nephrons, renal tubules and kidney tubules. Now, this uriniferous tubules are structured and functional units of the kidney. They are structured and the functional units of the kidney. This is how it looks. Clear? Next, Malpighin tubule. So, what is called as Malpighin tubule? Now, each nephron has a Malpighin body and the body of the tubules. This Malpighin body is nothing but a cap-shaped Bowman's capsule. In its cap-shaped depression, a tuft of blood capillaries called as glomerulus is situated. Clear? Now, that body of the tubulus contains the proxial convoluted tubule, that is PCT, it is also short form, loop of this anal and the distal convoluted tube, that is also called as DCT. Means what? PCT and DCT. Okay. This DCT opens the collecting duct. DCT's work is what? To open the collecting duct. Okay. Now, approximately almost 2 million uriniferous tubules are present in both the kidneys. Almost 2 million. Just observe. Okay. Each single uriniferous tubule is almost 4 to 5 centimeter. Just imagine, guys, it's 4 to 5 centimeter and 2 million. Okay. The great length of uriniferous tubule provides a large surface area for the reabsorption of usable substances such as water. So, how much your kidney is clean. So, how much it has. That all things matters on the kidney. Yes, ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ minerals observe ಮಾಡುತ್ತಲ್ಲ kidney ಅಷ್ಟಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು we need to have a good amount of water. Okay. Now, blood flow through the kidneys per minute is 1 liter. Okay. Blood flow will be how much? 1 liter per minute. Okay. Now, glandular filtrate produced in 24 hours is equal to 160 liters. Urine produced from the glandular filtrate after reobservation day per day is going to be how much? 1.2 liters. Oh my God, it's too much, right? Next comes formation of a urine. So, formation of a urine is how the process of urine formation occurs in the 2 major steps. First is ultrafiltration and next is reobservation. Now, what happens in the ultrafiltration? Here, the efferent antral is narrower than the afferent antral, which develops a hydrostatic pressure on the blood. Thus, the blood flows through the glomerulus with the great pressure. Due to the pressure of that liquid part of the blood filters out of the glomerulus and passes into the Bowman's capsule. Okay, and that glomerulus filtrate consists of water, urea, salts, glucose and the other plasma solutes. So that will be observed by what? This reobservation. Okay. In this reobservation, the glomerular filtrate entering the renal tubulate containing the many useful substances. Many useful substances will be present. ಈಗ ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು useful things ಇರುತ್ತೆ, right? So now, hence as a filtrate passes down the tubule, water and the other substances required by the body are reobserved. Means whatever we need, we are going to reobserve those things. We are going to reobserve those things. Clear? Next, potassium ions and the certain substances such as penicillin, are passed into the forming urine through the distal, that is convoluted tubule, that is DCT, and the cells of the walls of the DCT are that is involved in the bringing the potassium ions and the other substances back into the renal tubule. Hence this process is known as what? Tubular secretion. That process is actually called as what? Tubular secretion. Clear? Now how come the urine is excreted? The filtrate left after the reobservation and the tubular secretion is called as urine. It means whatever for our body is necessary, it is being observed by the DCT. Then once that process is done, then we are going to go for the urine excretion. Okay, and the urine passes from the collecting duct into the pelvis and the kidneys. From there it is going to send to the urinary bladder through the urethra. Okay, then by relaxing the sphincters present at the opening of the urethra, the urine is being expelled from the body. That process is called as what? Micturition or urination. Okay. Next comes the artificial kidney. So here in artificial kidneys also they have asked two times the questions also. Artificial kidneys means what? If our kidney is not working properly, then it will be connected to the machine which will diagnose it and it will give us, so that usually that will be done weekly, twice in a week, like that it will be done. Depends on the what actually the kidney stage is. Okay, what is the stage of that person is. If one kidney is damaged or removed, then the other kidney alone can fulfill the excretory needs. But however, the failure of both the kidneys allows the urea and the other wastes to accumulate in the body, such as patient will undergo the dialysis. That's what I told you. In dialysis, an artificial kidney is being used like a machine. This is the artificial kidney. This is how actually it's been used. Okay, the blood pump will be present here. The vein and the artery shed will be there here. Air detector, dialysis machine will be there. It will go inside like this, use the dialysis fluid, and then the fresh dialysis fluid will be present and compressed air also will be present. Now, the patient's blood is led from the radial artery through the tubes of the artificial kidney, where the excess salts and the urea are completely been removed. Means it is purified. Okay. Then the purified blood is returned through the vein in the same arm. So, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, so ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. Next, the function of the dialysis is similar to the function of the kidney, but the only difference is there is no reobservation during the dialysis. So there will be no reobservations. Means in our body what happens, our body will do the reobservations. With that we'll get a good minerals. So yarig one kidney iralalla, our good minerals tinkontirbeku. Healthy, they need to maintain a good nutritious meal. Okay, because the minerals will not be reobserved. So that might affect their body. So we need to be very careful. We need to have a balanced meal. We need to have a proper food also there. Okay. Next, excretion in the plants. What happens? Plants also produce the several waste products during their life processes, and the major waste products are water, carbon dioxide, oxygen produced during the respiration and the photosynthesis. These wastes are excreted through the stomata or lenticles, and the plants store some waste products in the leaves which fall off, and the waste such as gums, resins are stored in the old xylem. Clear? Which will be peeled off. Next, so yes, this is all about the chapter life process. I know it almost extended to 1.5 hour, more than 1.5 hour. It's almost 2 hours itself, I can tell you. So yadak extend atandre, because life process is a very huge chapter. Everything need to be covered so that you will be perfect with your theory. So yavag nanu most important questions ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಥಿಯರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದು. So make sure you people will practice this chapter very well, because it is having a high weightage also, and you need to learn it very well for your future also. Okay, still then, see you everyone.